Why relativistic mass increase is misleading. It's actually pressure from ether collisions. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're exposing a big misconception in physics, the term relativistic mass increase. You've heard that as objects approach the speed of light, their mass increases, making acceleration harder. But that's deeply misleading. Mass should refer to the fixed amount of matter, the intrinsic stuff, like atoms and particles, that don't change with motion. It doesn't grow just because something's moving fast. Modern physicists avoid relativistic mass because it tricks people into thinking more matter is magically appearing. It isn't. Instead, picture this. The so-called mass increase is really a pressure increase from collisions with ultra-tiny ether particles permeating space. This mechanical view makes pressure increase intuitive, focusing on momentum transfers in collisions rather than abstract concepts. We'll touch on how physicists bundle these mechanical effects into something called energy later. The history of so-called mass increase. The idea of a speed-dependent resistance to acceleration, misleadingly referred to as a speed-dependent mass, actually dates back to Lorentz's work. Early physicists like Lorentz had explored what he called speed-dependent electromagnetic mass for electrons in 1904. As usual, Einstein had copied Lorentz and Poincaré's ideas, and now he tends to get all the credit for everything. Why mass increase is misleading. In relativity, near light speed, inertia surges. Pushing the object faster demands enormous force. Old descriptions called this relativistic mass increase, with m sub rel equals gamma times m sub rest, where gamma explodes as speed nears c. But this suggests the amount of matter grows. Wrong. Rest mass stays fixed. It's the object's overall momentum that rises with speed, increasing resistance to further acceleration. The word energy here describes this extra motion on a grand scale. Physicists use kinetic energy as shorthand for the accumulated effect of faster internal particle motions and momentum. But mechanically, it's all about harder pushes and interactions. Pressure in gases, the mechanical effect. Gas pressure arises purely mechanically. Particles slam into container walls, transferring momentum with each collision. Heavier particles carry more momentum per hit, stronger force impulses, higher pressure. Faster particles, from heating, deliver harder, more frequent momentum transfers, even higher pressure. No one claims the gas gains more matter when heated. The amount of stuff is constant, but collision forces intensify due to greater speed and momentum. Here, energy, especially kinetic, is just a convenient label for the overall strength of these motions and collisions, a bookkeeping tool for the mechanical push from momentum changes. The ether collision picture. There's a subtle ether, entrained by objects as they pass through it, with extremely fine particles everywhere. It's important to note, for those who are ignorant, the Michelson-Morley experiment had only disproved a non-entrained ether, not an entrained one. No ether wind is expected under an entrained ether model. But instead, Fitzgerald and Lorentz had invented an ad hoc theory called length contraction in a desperate attempt to salvage their non-entrained ether. This ad hoc was later copied by Einstein and was included in special relativity. At rest or low speeds, ether particles collide equally from all directions. Balanced momentum transfers no net force. Near light speed, frontal collisions skyrocket in rate and momentum transfer due to huge relative velocity, while rear ones diminish. This builds massive opposing pressure, a drag force exploding with speed. Mechanically, this collision imbalance resists acceleration, perfectly matching relativistic inertia, without adding any matter. The abstract energy in E equals mc squared captures how violent motion, or stress, equates to these intensified mechanical interactions. Key takeaway. Mass increase is a misleading concept since this phenomena is actually pressure increase. Mass means unchanging amount of matter, not a speed-dependent pushback. Mechanically, higher speed, greater momentum in ether collisions, stronger opposing pressure, huge inertia. Energy is physics' way of quantifying this total mechanical vigor, motion strength convertible across forms, explaining the equivalence without invoking extra matter. It's a tangible collision-based view, no relativity magic needed. So-called mass increase is actually ether resistance. It describes how objects resist acceleration more as they get faster, explained by their added collisions from ether particles manifesting as increased inertia, but their fundamental rest mass remains constant. Incidentally, this same mechanism also explains the so-called velocity-based time dilation phenomena and the contraction of loose particle beams. But that's a topic for another time. Thanks for watching. See you next time.